All right, week one under wraps. We had some hell of a games in week one. I think we might have had one of the greatest regular season games of all times. That Bills and Ravens game. And also that Vikings and Bears game did not disappoint either. Welcome JJ McCarthy to the NFL. Dude's a dog. You got any takeaways from this past week?
When you were saying, I think we might have witnessed the greatest game, I thought you were going to say we might have witnessed the greatest week one. Because I think this week one may have been the greatest week one we have ever seen. There were some games that were kind of terrible. Dolphins, Giants.
Yeah.
But for the most part, every single game this week was insane. And then we capped it off with a Sunday night game, which we'll talk about. And then a Monday night game, which we'll talk about. So, week one, thumbs up. It was a winner.
Yeah. Week one, you get a big boom.
No.
On to week two. All right. First game, we got Thursday Night Football. We got Washington at Green Bay. And Washington coming out with a big win against the Giants, man. Is Russ done? Is it dart time yet?
It's fart time. That's what I was watching on Sunday. It was fart time. So.
Yeah, man. I mean, just like usual, we were overhyping the Giants. So that happened. Vikings took care of business at home. And now Green Bay, they took care of business at home as well against the Detroit Lions, man. They're legit. They got Michael Parsons. That defense is nasty. Green Bay Packers took care of business at home against the Detroit Lions. Their front seven is nasty. Their defense is looking good. The offenses have to keep it up. They have another home game, prime time against the Commanders. Tough game. They're at home. I think Green Bay was the better looking team. I'm going to trust in what I saw, but it's tough to take away from what you see in week one. But I'm going to stick with it just because I'm predicting Green Bay to have a really good season and the Commanders to kind of disappoint. So I'm going to stick with that prediction. I'm going to take Green Bay at home.
Yeah, I'm not trying to glaze you, but I really like that take, especially the part where you said I'm rooting for the Commanders to suck. I don't remember. I think I added some words into your mouth, but that was the gist of it. Both of these teams wowed last week. You know, the only difference is who did they wow against? Like, the Washington Commanders wowed against a team that has probably the worst coaching in the NFL. We're talking about head coach and offensive coordinator. The absolute worst. And just not a great roster. They suck. Bull crap. They stink. Compared to the Green Bay Packers, who played the Lions, who are well coached. They're still trying to find their footing. You know, they got rid of two coordinators, offense and defense. You know, so their Lions aren't the Lions. But they still have the talent. They still have the head coach. And Green Bay just absolutely steamrolled them. It was no contest. It never was a contest.
Belt to ass.
Yeah, belt to ass. They opened the can of whoop ass. So, you know, I think Green Bay looks really good this year. And I'm putting my belt in for Green Bay, baby.
All right, let's go. Next game, we got Jacksonville at Cincinnati. Now, Cincinnati, we all know about what's going on with their defense, right? Their team usually is known for having slow starts, and it showed week one against the Browns when they won by 1 point, and they arguably should have lost. I think in the second half, they only gained -7 yards or something like that. So Jacksonville could definitely abuse that secondary as they have weapons in Brian Thomas Jr. and Travis Hunter, and we'll see how Trevor Lawrence does. Travis Etienne is trying to have a bounce-back season. I think the key to this game is to slow down the Bengals' offense. Is the Jaguars' defense game to slow down Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Chase Brown? Surprisingly, the Bengals they're only favored by 3.5. They're at home. It's reasonable. I'm going to trust the Bengals to kind of bounce back here against a not-so-great Jacksonville secondary. So give me Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, and T. Higgins to light up the scoreboard.
Joe Burrow. Yeah, I don't think there was any fantasy disappointments quite. Well, actually, no, there was a couple. But Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, absolutely deplorable week ones. Like you said, we know Cincinnati is a slow start. We know this. We expect it. It goes kind of back to that thing. Our expectations were low, but holy crap, dude. Like, crazy. And then you have the Jags, who I think I picked against them last week. I didn't think that they were going to win. And they won. They surprised everybody and won. At the end of the day, though, we kind of got to go based on who has the more talented roster. And even though the Bengals defense is terrible, disgusting, horrible, their offense, we know, has the firepower, has the offensive mindset. They can explode for 50 points a game. So, give me Cincy.
All right. Next game, we got your New York Giants at Dallas Cowboys. So hopefully Dak ain't spitting in no one's direction, or he's gonna get showered with saliva. Dak is favored. Dallas is favored by 5.5. New York's going to New York. So their front seven, we're expecting it to be good, and I didn't do all that much against the Commanders. We'll see what they do against the Cowboys. The Cowboys actually look pretty good against the Eagles. They were in that game. They could have won that game. Dak was doing a little bit of that secondary. Can they abuse the Giants secondary? We'll see. But I expect the Cowboys to be actually pretty solid this season based on what I saw. So I'm going to go with the Cowboys at home. New York still has to figure out their offense. I don't know. Until they get it figured out, I don't think I'm going to pick them. So give me the Cowboys.
Yeah. Really nothing. There's no highlights to the game on Sunday with the Giants. I think that the defense, though, we have been calling it all off season. We said that this defense is going to be good. Front seven, going to be good. Linebackers, going to be good. Secondary, going to be a little bit shaky. And I think that the defense gave the offense plenty of chances to score. This is a high-powered Commanders offense that were held to 21 points. And I think 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns, if I'm not mistaken. So I think this defense did a great job. I think the defensive coaching was good. There was a couple chunk plays where BDSM got loose in the backfield. Terry McLaurin got loose a couple times, and Debo had that long touchdown. But I think this defense did good. So from the Giants' standpoint, I think that there is a glimmer of hope at the end of the tunnel. But unfortunately, Brian Dable's fat ass and Mike Kapka's freaking stupid idiot self are walking in and blocking that light in the tunnel. They are two of the most... I won't use the R word because I don't want to get canceled. They're two of the most people to ever have a coaching headset, and it makes me sick to know that they still have jobs. Russell is washed. We knew that, though. We're wasting this defense. We're wasting Malik Neighbors. We're wasting so much because our owner and our GM are too stupid to clean house and get everybody out and put people who actually know how to do their jobs in those seats. So the Cowboys look really good against the Eagles. You know, I'm sure CeeDee Lamb, he's an amazing receiver. He's not going to drop 4 balls again. That was a fluke, guys. Come on. Javonte Williams, though, good to see him. He kind of had a breakout game a little bit. 2 touchdowns, 50 yards. So hopefully they can continue utilizing him. But at the end of the day, give me Cowboys by murder.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, just Brian Dable wasting everyone, and the fans are getting wasted. So,
I was wasted on Sunday.
Next game, we got the Bears at Detroit. We got the Bears at Lions. Caleb Williams, man, he looked a little oiled up in that Vikings game. Just having a hard time taking him down.
I thought
man.
I was watching
I don't know what it
prime
is.
Michael Vick in the backfield.
Yeah, man, he's been running all over the place. And then you got the Lions who cannot get anything going against the Packers, except for that insane Isaac Tesla one-handed
That
grab
was beautiful.
in garbage time touchdown. It was beautiful. It was good. Detroit's at home. They're favored by 5.5. The Bears, man, they were doing great that first half, and in the second half they kind of imploded. They couldn't get anything going. So they couldn't. They started to get things going against the Vikings. Vikings is a tough defense, but the Lions, they're even a tougher team because you got the Bears whose defense is kind of banged up, and the Lion has an insane offense. It wasn't shown last week because the Packers shut it down. Bears defense looked actually pretty solid until they started getting banged up. But I'm gonna go with the Lions. I think their offense will have its way against the Bears defense. We'll see how the Bears offense is able to do against the Lions defense. But I'm gonna favor the home team here. Give me the Lions with Sonic Knuckles and Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jameson Williams and Isaac Tesla and all these guys.
Yeah, no, the Bears looked so good first half, and it was kind of making me nervous because I had the Vikings defense, and in 2 of my leagues I had them, and I needed them to score at least 10 points exactly to win 2 of my games this week. And so every time that Caleb Williams would be dead to rights in the backfield, I would get excited. I'm like, yes, sack. And then somehow,
Yes,
he would escape. He did this like 4 times.
No.
I don't know how I didn't see it last year, but Caleb Williams is quick. He is elusive.
I think he's just oiled
He
up.
probably is just oiled up, and they tried to grab him, and they just slid right out.
Yeah.
But the first half Bears looked really good. Like, really good. This
First half
Minnesota
Bears.
Vikings team is known for being defensive. And they were just getting Caleb Williams balls run down their throat. So I think that this Bears team, especially with Ben Johnson, I think this is a totally new Bears team. And so Ben Johnson going back to Detroit, the smart thing to do would be to pick Detroit. They are the more consistent team. They have more experience in big games.
Yeah.
But Ben Johnson going and playing the team that he knows so much about with a quarterback who seems like he's taking a season 2 leap. Dude, give me the Bears here. Crazy upset. But at the end of the day, it's not that crazy. It's not that crazy.
The Bears. All right, I dig it. I like that. I like that call. I like that. All right. Next game. We got the Rams at Titans. Titans at home. Rams favored by 5.5. Yep, 5.5. Cam Ward, not so great showing, mostly because receivers were dropping passes, specifically Calvin Ridley. Broncos defense is a pretty tough team. Titans were in there. They had an opportunity to win the game. Kind of blew it. They blew it up at the end. Couldn't get it done. Rams were in control against the Texans. The Texans are a tough team. Rams looking real good. They're looking real good. That defensive line is still sturdy as ever. Offense still got weapons on there. I don't see Tennessee keeping up, and I'm seeing the Rams defensive line having a field day against the Titans here. So I'm gonna go with the Rams on the road here. I think their defense will be too tough for the Titans.
Yeah. No, this is kind of, I wouldn't say the spread is as bad as Giants-Cowboys, but this is kind of one of those games that you see and you're like, okay, we know who we're going to pick. We're going to pick the Rams. They're the better team, better roster. They have proven themselves. The only thing that Tennessee has proven is that they can't touch a ball. They can't win games. They can't make stops on defense. And I know the Rams aren't perfect either, but the Rams are a whole heck of a lot closer to being a competitive team than the Tennessee Titans are. So hopefully Cam Ward can kind of find his rhythm. His receivers can start making plays for him. They can establish a run game, and the defense can figure out their identity, because right now it's not looking good. So give me the Rams here. Signed, sealed, delivered.
Let's go. All right. I love it. Next, we got the Patriots at Miami. Miami's favored by 1.5, surprisingly. Now, you got teams that start the season slow, and then you got teams that suck. This is just a team that sucks. It drains my soul. At halftime, I was kind of hoping this team would finish scoreless just for making me watch all that, and unfortunately, they scored a touchdown. So, they finished the game 8-33. I'm hoping it's just a slow start to the season. But if this was a slow start, this is comparable to probably Donald Trump's 40-yard dash time. So that's the Dolphins right now at the start of the season. Is it going to change? No, I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. Tua didn't look great. The defense didn't look great. Nothing was going great. And then you got a Patriots team that actually has building blocks of a good team, but didn't get it done last week against the Raiders. Are they game this week? Are they able to handle our front seven? We'll see. We'll see if the Dolphins got anything figured out. I'm going to go with the Dolphins because I am cursed to this team.
I love your loyalty.
It sucks.
Yeah, no, the Dolphins honestly kind of make me sick. More sick than the Giants. The Dolphins, you can just tell. And I promise you, I'm not stealing this from Rex Ryan, because Rex Ryan went on the same rant that I'm about to go on right now on whatever show he's on. They do not respect Mike McDaniels. If they did, they would play a whole lot different. There's no drive. There's no grit. There's no perseverance.
No passion.
Yeah, there's no passion on that team. They're dead. They don't respect Mike Daniels. He doesn't have the locker room. Like, this team is done for. The season hasn't even started, and they're just done for. There's no discipline whatsoever. And we saw that. Like, they sucked. Defense sucked. Offense sucked. And then a reporter was pressing Tua about throwing interceptions in bunches, which he threw 2 picks. So I would say that's a bunch. And he, like, flipped out on the reporter. He's like, that's a wild comment. Well, guess what, Tua? Guess what? Maybe don't have CTE. Maybe remember that your guys are in aqua and the other team is in blue.
It's very similar colors, to be fair.
Yeah, well, in any event, whatever. Just throw to the guy whose name you know. That's it. It could be as simple as that. So, the Dolphins suck. Patriots, I don't really know much about them, except that I wish Drake May was a Giant. Give me the Patriots here.
Tua's really living up to his nickname. Tua turned the ball over.
Yeah, something.
He's living up to it.
When you have multi-interception games, you can't get upset about reporters asking you questions about, hey, why are you throwing so many interceptions? It's a valid question, is it not?
It is. It has to be in his head if it's like a mental block or something, but
there's nothing solid in that brain. It's pure liquid. Pinkish brown liquid.
Speaking of liquid brains, we have Chris Olave and 49ers at New Orleans Saints. 49ers are favored by 4.5, and like I mentioned, there's teams that start slow and teams that suck. And that's the Saints. They suck. So they're at home versing a tough 49ers team who's pretty banged up. Brock Purdy's questionable. Kittle's out this game. I don't know if Juwan Jennings playing or not, but I know Ayuk is out. Chris McCaffrey, did he get banged up? You never know. He could explode at any moment.
No, I don't think he's... Never mind.
I don't know. He could explode literally at any moment. So they're banged up. I'm going to trust in Robert Saleh's defense more than I am going to trust in Spencer Rattler. So gaming the 49ers on the road. I'll keep it short and sweet.
Yeah, I mean, no matter how banged up and broken San Francisco will be, they will always be better than the Saints. I don't think you can... The Saints are so bad that I forget that they're a team. Like... You know, I can name Spencer Rattler, Chris Olave, Alvin Kamara, Rashid Shaheed. Those are the only active Saints players that I know. I don't even know who their head coach is. I can't name a single defensive player. So give me the banged up Niners.
Next game, we got Bills at Jets. Bills, they just got freaking Josh Allen. Dude's unstoppable. That game last week was nuts. Down 15 with 4 minutes left in the game. Pulled it off. And then you got the New York Jets that weren't able to pull it off against the Steelers. But Joe will say Justin Fields looked pretty solid. He looked pretty solid. Pretty solid. Garrett Wilson, they got weapons to the offense. Now the defense, allowing 34 points to an Aaron Rodgers led Steelers team. Yeah, keep an eye on that. We'll see what's going on there. But they got Aaron Glenn, first time head coach. He's a defensive coach. We'll see if he's able to pull the guys together. Buffalo's favored by 6.5, but I don't see him stopping Josh Allen. That guy is a force, man. I'm going to go with Buffalo. They got something figured out with that offense, and it all starts with Josh Allen. Defense couldn't stop the run, couldn't stop the nosebleed. So, I mean, we'll see if it changes with the Jets, but I'm going to go with Buffalo.
Yeah, and these are two teams. I know the Jets lost last week, but what we saw from them, some teams lose impressively. And the Jets were kind of impressive in their loss. Nobody expected Justin Fields to play the way he did, have that chemistry already with Garrett Wilson. Breece Hall had a decent game. So offensively, I think the Jets had good pieces, and they all played together well. It was just that defense, which after hearing about the Jets' defense for 3 years straight, that's kind of a weird thing for them to fall apart on. But the Jeffs, honestly, were kind of impressive last week. So were the Bills.
I'll give them that.
Obviously, I was texting somebody who's a Bills fan, and right after the Derrick Henry touchdown when they went up 40-25, she was like, yeah, I'm done. I'm going to bed. And I was already invested in the game, so I kept on watching. And they came back and won. I think that might be the greatest game I've ever seen in my life. That Bills...
Me too.
Because you're sitting there and you're like, there's no way. 4 minutes left. It's 40-25. Derrick Henry fumbles. Touchdown. Josh Allen happens. And then Matt Prater, who took a red eye on Thursday, which I don't know why everybody's making a big deal about. He took a red eye on Thursday. It's Sunday. Your job is to kick a ball. You don't have to learn a playbook. Just shut up and kick the ball, dude.
It's fair.
Put my fries in the bag.
Fries in the bag.
So this Buffalo offense was amazing. That defense, though, was concerning. Like you said, not being able to stop things. They need to figure that out. But in this case, let's go Bills.
All right. Go Bills, man. Next game, we got Steelers at Pittsburgh. And Pittsburgh is a gritty team, man. They were in a dogfight last week, pulled it off. Their defense is pretty good. Jalen Ramsey laid the hammer on Garrett Wilson to call game. So they got dogs on that team, the Steelers. They might be better than I thought. Seattle is actually a good team as well. They almost won against 49ers, but couldn't get it done at the end. Pittsburgh is at home. They're favored by 2.5. This is kind of a tough one. I'm actually going to trust in Pittsburgh here. I was initially on Seattle, but just thinking of that defense, man. TJ Watt, Jalen Ramsey. They got some dogs on that defense. I'm going to go with the Steelers, and I think they can put up some points on Seattle's defense. Aaron Rodgers didn't look too bad. If he continued to play like he did last week, I think they'll win this game for sure. So give me Pittsburgh. They're at home. I'm going to go with the home team.
Yeah, no, Pittsburgh looked great last week. Aaron Rodgers looked great last week. So I'm going to pick them over the Seahawks here. I don't think the Seahawks looked bad last week, but when you compare it to how the Steelers looked, plus the Steelers being at home, let's go Steelers on this one.
Yeah, for sure. Next game, you got Cleveland at Baltimore, or Browns at Ravens. Biggest spread of the week, we got Ravens by 11.5. Crazy work. Cleveland was in the dogfight as well last week, almost upsetting the Bengals. Their defense stepped up big time. offense couldn't get much going. Ravens, they put up 40 on the Bills. Derrick Henry was unstoppable. Lamar was running left and right. Zay Flowers was running on them as well. But they still lost. I think they'll be pissed. I think they'll leave a sour taste in their mouth. I think they're going to try to get their get back on Cleveland. So I think this is an easy one. I got Ravens at home. Cleveland's defense is going to be pretty tough if it play like what they did last week. So, but I'm not going to trust. I'm going to trust more Lamar than I am in Joe Flacco offensively. So give me the Ravens at home.
Yeah, like you said, it's the biggest spread of the week. Baltimore lost last week, but I don't think that hurts their stock at all. I still think they're Super Bowl favorites. No. They have an amazing offense and defense. They just choked last week. That's it. Cleveland really doesn't have much going on for them. The only reason that they almost upset the Bengals is because the Bengals were beating the Bengals. Cleveland was never beating the Bengals. So when you have a team that's Derrick Henry, Zay Flowers, Lamar Jackson, plus defense, the no-brainer here is the Ravens. But yet, no, I'm kidding.
Yo.
Nah, Ravens at home all day.
All right. Next game, we got Broncos at Colts. Colts with an impressive win. The Dolphins made Daniel Jones look like an MVP. That's depressing. And then you got Broncos barely winning against the Titans. They got the job done. Bo Nix did not look all that great. Broncos favored by 1.5 here. Do they get things fixed over there, or does Colts keep that momentum going? We're gonna see. I do like Denver's defense a whole ton. I think they're gonna give more resistance than the Dolphins did. That's for sure. And I don't think Bo Nix will play as bad as Tua did. So I'm going to go with Denver on the road. I still have to see if the Colts offense can keep this up. It might just be a week one thing. I'm not believing the Colts yet. So I'm going to go with the Broncos. I think they're the better team here.
Yeah, the Broncos definitely are the better team. Seeing Daniel Jones sling the ball and look like prime Peyton Manning was probably the highlight of my week. Because both of my teams lost last week. Like, everybody sucked. So seeing Daniel Jones do good week one just brought me joy to my face. Because Daniel Jones as a person, amazing person. Daniel Jones as a quarterback, he was the Giants' scapegoat. We know that the Giants' problem wasn't quarterback. It was coaching. But I already went on that rant, so I'll skip it. So seeing Daniel Jones play well, having that connection with Michael Pittman, everything seemed to be clicking on offense. And I think that's fantastic. And I hope that it continues. I hope that their defense can come up with big stops, when they're not playing a quarterback who has severe CTE. But I think the Broncos are a lot further along right now than the Colts. From a coaching standpoint and from a talent and experience standpoint. So, give me Denver on the road with Bo Nix.
Bo Nickel. All right. Next game, we got the Panthers at Cardinals. Now, Panthers, Bryce Young was too distracted looking at the little games on the Jumbotron on the Jag Stadium and, folded. Jags took that game away with, what they went, 27-10 or something like that. But Chuba Herbert, he's on my fantasy team. He put up some numbers. I'll take it. We'll see if they look any better against the Cardinals team, which I thought they were going to win by more against the Saints. But they got the job done. Cardinals are at home. They're favored by 6.5. I like Cardinals team here. Could Carolina surprise us here? Maybe. But just from what I saw, I'm going with the Cardinals. I think Kyler Murray's a better quarterback. I think Cardinals defense is going to step up big time here. And then, it's kind of tough for me to pick Carolina over anyone right now. So I'm going to stick with that. I'm going to kind of fade them a little bit here and go with the Cardinals.
Yeah. It's crazy to have, to think about this game. the Panthers have been not great for a very long time. And we all hope that they can turn the corner and be a good team. And until I see a crazy upset win, I'm not going to be on the Panthers side. You know, I'll morally be on the Panthers side because I like the Panthers. They're chill. I like them. They're cool. But I don't think they have what it takes to beat the Cardinals right now. Give me the Cardinals here. They're at home. Kyler Murray, second year, Marvin Harrison Jr. You know, figure out the defense, keep James Conner healthy. Easy game.
There we go. Next game, we got the Super Bowl rematch. We got the Eagles at Chiefs. Now, the Chiefs, they be hurting themselves. Travis Kelce just kind of knocked Xavier Worthy out of the game right after Taylor Swift was hyping him up in that podcast. The Eagles are favored by 1.5 here on the road. And, yeah, I'm going to go with the Eagles here. I think they are the better team. I think Kansas City usually starts slow, and I think they're going to keep it up until the receivers get healthy, because now I don't know who the number one receiver is. Hollywood Brown, probably.
Yeah, Hollywood.
It's him and Juju. Yeah, because Xavier Worthy, he's going to be out for a couple of weeks, and Rasheed Rice's still suspended. Their defense had a tough time stopping the Chargers, so I think they're going to have an even harder time stopping Jalen Hurts and Saquon here. So I got the Eagles on the road, but I know Kansas City got some bad blood here with the Eagles. Bad, from the Super Bowl, losing pretty bad. They want to try to get their get back. I don't think they'll get it done, though. So give me the Eagles.
Yeah, I mean, look, cover up the... Actually, no, I can never cover up the Giants logo. Forever a giant tattooed on my heart. But, you have to be an idiot to not hype up the Eagles and say that they are a damn good team. The Eagles are amazing. Defensively, offensively, coaching, complete team, all the way around. The Chiefs are a little bit banged up, and they struggled week 1. Eagles didn't. Give me the Eagles here.
Yeah. And maybe A.J. Brown can wake up a little bit and get some more targets and get some open.
Yeah.
We'll see what they're able to do. Now, next game. Sunday night. Big game. Falcons at Vikings. Vikings with another primetime game for J.J. McCarthy. They're at home, favored by 4.5. Michael Penix, pretty solid against the Bucs. Could have went to overtime, but kicker missed a kick. Now his job is in trouble. We don't know who the kicker is for Falcons now. Not a good look, but they got weapons. They still got Bijan. They still got Drake London. They got Kyle Pitts. Didn't do much last week anyways, but they got him. But Vikings, I think their defense is top tier. J.J. McCarthy looked pretty legit. Had a slow start. Hopefully they don't start slow again, or else they might actually lose a game. You want to see him keep that consistency, so we want to kind of see if he's able to keep that consistency. But, yeah, I'm going to go with the Vikings at home. I like this Vikings team. And Atlanta, I wouldn't be surprised if they pull it upset here, but I like the Vikings defense a little bit too much just because of Brian Flores.
Yeah. No, the turnaround that the Vikings had yesterday was incredible. They were getting beat down
It's awesome.
and beat off all the beginning of the game. First quarter, second quarter. And then, halfway through the third into the fourth, a fire got lit. And JJ started throwing touchdowns. And the defense started getting stops. And they narrowly got the win. I think that as time goes on, JJ's going to get more comfortable. He's getting more actual reps. And he's not going to have that slow start. Because I think their slow start on offense was solely on him. And that's to be expected. He's a rookie quarterback, technically. So you're going to have that slow start.
Yeah, kind of.
Exactly, yeah. So you're going to have that slow start. And I think that the slow starts are going to start getting smaller and smaller as time goes on. I think that they're the better team compared to the Falcons here. I'm not super high on the Falcons. I know you like the Falcons. Not that you're high on them, but you have a little bit more respect for them. I'm not high on the Falcons.
Yeah.
I think that it's going to be a moderate landslide, leaning in the way of the Vikings.
All right. Next game, we got Monday night. We're getting treated to 2 Monday night games. First one, we got Bucks at Texans. And this one's kind of a tough one for me to pick. I was initially leaning towards the side of the Texans, but now I'm like, looking at the Bucks, their offense is pretty good. Amika Buka looks great. You still got Mike Evans. You got Ducky Irvin. Baker Mayfield is there. Texans on paper, their offense looks good, but they didn't show it last week. I don't know if that's to show how good the Rams defense was, or just how slow the Texans offense was, because the Texans getting pressured all day long by that defensive line, and that offensive line for Texans could be a concern, but the Texans defense is still pretty good too. So I don't know where to go. I don't know if the Bucks defense will be able to bring the pressure. They do have Hassan Reddick, and they have a good run stopper in Vita Vea. But you know what? I'm going to go, Texans, man, the defense is awesome. Good coach, C.J. Stroud. Nico Collins going to get back, hopefully, for the sake of my fantasy team. So, you got the Texans. Give me the Bucks. I got the Bucks to win this on the road. 50-50 game. Give me Baker. If it's 50-50, like you said, if it's a 50-50 game, give me Baker.
Happened? Oh, man. If it's 50-50, give me Baker. And I'll tell you how I got to that conclusion. Baker Mayfield's playing in the game, so give me Baker, baby. Houston was good 2 years ago. C.J. Stroud's rookie year.
They were last year.
Yeah. And then I don't know, they've been declining. Bucks, Amika Buga, amazing. That just slid off the tongue, right? That's how you say his name, right?
What did you say?
Buga?
Amika Buga. Yeah, it is. I heard Amika Buga. That's what I heard.
Abika Buga.
Amika Buga.
Ooga Booga. Ooga Booga.
Yeah, Ooga Booga.
No, I was trying to get him in the fantasy draft, and I forgot who snagged him before me. But he was like my sleeper pick, and I was excited. I think Alex got him or something, and no, not Alex.
No, I think it was Steven.
Yeah, Steven doesn't even know what he has, dude.
And then he just traded to Casey. Casey has him now.
Yeah. Freaking whatever, dude. They don't even know what they have. I did the research, okay? Anyway, the Bucks looks good. Give me the Bucks.
No. Ooga Booga, that's his new name now. He's a force to reckon with. Next game. Last game of the week. We got Chargers at Raiders. Chargers favored by 3.5. Good win against the Chiefs in São Paulo, Brazil. Raiders, good win against the Patriots. I can see this game being close. Raiders at home. They got some dogs on that team. I don't know if they'll be able to stop the Chargers' run game, though. I think Amari Hampton's going to be the difference maker in this game. But, this is the battle of the two rookie running backs, because the Raiders does have Aston Genty. So, we'll see whose run game gets going first. I'm leaning more towards the side of the Chargers, because I don't know if the Raiders, their defense didn't really get tested yet. They play the Patriots. So I think it's going to be the first real test. Justin Herbert played like a dog last week. So I'm going to trust in Justin Herbert and the Chargers run game here to get a dub here on the road against the Raiders.
Yeah. No, the Raiders looked really good last week. Granted, they were playing the Patriots, which, not a high difficulty game, but, they looked good. They looked really good. Chargers also looked good. The Chiefs thought that the Chargers were going to be only running the ball. What is their game plan when they show up? Justin Herbert starts throwing the ball all over the field.
Slinging
it like a gunslinger, like Brett Favre. Yeah, so, I think the Chargers might have found something new. They were a ground and pound team. Maybe this is the advent of their air attack, their passing attack. So give me the Chargers here.
Yeah, and I feel like the difference maker in the game between the Raiders and Patriots was that the Raiders were able to get pressure on Drake May a whole ton. And I don't know if they'll be able to do that with the Chargers because their offensive line is pretty good. I know they're missing Rashawn Slater, a big piece.
No.
What the hell?
No, that was not.
Dude is ripping ass on the video, on the pod. But yeah, Joel's a big man, and Church got the power of Madison Beer on their side, so we can't go against that.
Definitely.
So that wraps up week 2. These are our picks, and we did not go 16-0 last week, but new opportunities with a new week, new opportunities.
We'll go 16-0
this is the week
this
we're going
week.
16-0. Even though I picked mostly favorites, which I'm scared about.
Whatever.
All right, so that wraps up the video. Dan, you got anything else to say?
Follow the Instagram, follow the TikTok, follow the YouTube, follow Matt home at night.
Maybe not the last
definitely
part,
not the
but
last part.
if you enjoyed the video, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned for more content. And we'll catch you guys next time.
Peace.